The first car I ever owned myself was a 1975 Ford Pinto wagon. I dare you to find a car that's worse than that.
History's best car ever asks, what was your first car?
My very first car was a 1989 Dodge Colt, and it sucked. I was never gonna be the popular girl with that car.
A 1966 Mustang convertible, 289 hypo, pony interior with stock AC. AC on a convertible, that was unheard of in the 60s.
So my very first car was a Toyota Tacoma. I actually got it before I had my license.
The first day I had it, the heater cord blew, and I never had heat again in the car, and it burnt oil, and it was a bomb. But it was still my first car. I called it Seabiscuit.
Yeah, I gave it a name. It's the Taco. It's short for Tacoma. It's got a little hot sauce bottle hanging off the rear view mirror, because what's a taco without hot sauce, right?
I remember the passenger side floorboards were all rotted out. So whenever I went over a puddle, my girlfriend had to lift her legs up or they'd get soaked. And we used to do a lot of dry humping in the back of it. Lots of dry humping.
First vehicle I owned was a 73 F100 Ford pickup. I got a lot of good memories in that truck. Let's see, can we start with Tiffany? And you sure you want to talk about all that?
But I would wreck that car so much. I was so careless with it.
The first car I drove actually was a Dodge Dart. It was my mother's car. And I didn't steal it, per se, but I did take it without asking, and I ran it into a church fence.
My first car was a car my dad bought for me. It was a 1971 Ford Torino 500, and one afternoon my brother borrowed it, and that's the last we saw of that car. He wrapped it around a telephone pole, and that was it.
The first car I got was a burnt-out, rusted-out AMC wagon, and I had it for 2 days before the back tire actually broke off the axle.
My first car was a '66 Corvair Corsa, and I promptly learned what oversteer was, and I wrecked it. And on the way to getting it back, I hit it again.
My first car ever, LTD station wagon. I called them the ghetto limo. But we used to at least fit like 11 in that car going to a party. We pull up and then the back door opens and you see like people crawling out of the car.
My first car was a 1979 Chevy Z28 Camaro, and I still own her.
My first car was a 1995 Pontiac Trans Am. I was pretty proud of it.
It was the first car I customized as well. One of these days I'm going to restore it.
And it was just, for me, it was something I had bought with my own money, really my first big purchase in my life.
I knew that once you had a car, you just had freedom to go wherever, you know?
Having your own car, you know, I would sometimes just drive down a block from my house and sit in there, reading comic books, listening to music in my own freaking space.
Everyone can tell you what that first car was. They may have loved it, they may have hated it, but you can get them talking about that, because that was always a special moment.
What was your first car? For more on your favorite cars, go to history.com/carweek.